Hi everybody, this is Crystal. So today I'm going to show you how to make this little bag. You're probably going to have to put a liner in it, which I'll probably do off camera. But other than that, I show you how to do pretty much all of it. I added this button and some beads. That's just something you can do if you want. But it's a real easy bag, a real easy stitch, and it shouldn't take you any time at all. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, for this project, I am using just regular Red Heart Super Saver, which is a worsted weight of 4-ply 100% acrylic. And you do not have to use this brand. You can use any type of 4-ply yarn that you have. And the color I am using is called Mushroom. And there are 364 yards in this skein, and that will be more than enough to complete this project. And then I'm using a size H, which is a 5mm crochet hook. And you want to start off with a big long chain of 88. Now this stitch is done in multiples of 8 if you want to make it bigger or smaller. But for my size, I started with a chain of 88. Okay, what you want to do is follow your chain down without twisting it, and we're going to slip stitch into the very first stitch to form one big ring. Okay, so go ahead and slip stitch into that first stitch, and then you got one big ring. So you want to go ahead and chain one. And you want to go back into that very first stitch and do a single crochet. So right there where you slip stitched, go right into that and do a single crochet. And now what we're going to do is we're going to work one single crochet in every single stitch all the way around the big ring. Just like that. So what we're doing is we're starting on the bottom of the bag, and we'll work our way up, and at the end we'll sew the bottom of the bag shut. So one single crochet in every stitch around, and when you get back around you want to make sure you still have 88 stitches. So you should have 88 single crochet when you get back around to the beginning. Okay, once you make it all the way around and you counted and you have 88 single crochets, you want to go ahead and slip stitch into your first single crochet. Not the chain one, but the first single crochet that you made. Like that. Okay, now we're going to start off and we're going to chain one. And now we're going to work right back into that very same stitch, and we're going to work 3 double crochets into that same stitch. Right here, the very same one. So there's 1, 2, and 3. Now I'm going to skip 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the next one I'm going to work 3 double crochet again, all into that same stitch. So there's 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to do a chain of 2, 1, 2, and I'm going to skip 2. So skip, skip, and now I'm going to work 3 double crochets into the next stitch. 1, 2, 3. So these 3 double crochets is actually starting our repeat of our pattern. So it's 3 double crochets into the same stitch. Now again we're going to skip 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and in the next one we're going to put 3 double crochets again in that stitch. 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to do chain of 2, and we're going to skip 2, skip, skip, and in the next one will be our start our repeat again. We'll put 3 double crochets into the next one. So there's 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to skip 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the next one we'll work 3 double crochets again. 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, skip 2, skip, skip, and then the next one we'll start the repeat again. 3 double crochets in that same stitch. 1, 2, 3, skip 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and into the next one 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 2, skip 2, and then we start our repeat again. So I'm just going to repeat this pattern all the way around until I get back to the beginning. 1, 2, 3, skip 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the next one 3 doubles. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, skip 2, and then I start my repeat again with 3 doubles. And this is what it starts to look like. So I'm going to go ahead and work all the way around until I get back to the beginning. Okay, once you make it all the way around, I just did 3 double crochets on this stitch, and I'll do a chain 2, and then I should have 2 stitches left to skip, and I'm just going to end it by slip stitching into my first double crochet, and that's going to end that round. And you should have a total of 22 of these sets of 3 double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way around you should have 22. Okay, now for the next row, every row is going to be a repeat of this next row. So this is a really easy pattern to do. Let me get my yarn pulled out here. There. Okay, now we're going to start off again with the chain 1, and we're going to work 3 double crochets right back into that same stitch. So there's 1, 2, and 3. Now I'm going to skip 4 stitches, which is actually these 2 double crochets and these 2 double crochets, and I'm going to work in this last double crochet, and I'm going to put 3 double crochets into that last double crochet. So there's 1, 2, and 3, and now I'm going to chain 2, 1, 2. I'm going to skip this chain 2 right here and start working in this first double crochet of this next set, and I'm going to put 3 double crochets into that very first double crochet, 2 and 3, and now I'm going to put 3 double crochets in the last double crochet of this set, 1, 2, 3, and now I'm at a chain space, so I'm going to chain 2, 1, 2, and I'm going to work 3 double crochets in the top of this very first double crochet. 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to work 3 double crochets in the last double crochet of that set. 1, 2, 3, and then here's a chain space, so I'm going to chain 2 and start again. 3 double crochets right here into the top of the first double crochet. 1, 2, 3, and then 3 double crochets into the last double crochet over here on this set. So 1, 2, and 3. Now I'm out of chain space, so I'm going to chain 2 and start again. 3 double crochets into this one, 3 double crochets into the last one, chain 2 again, 3 double crochets into the first one, 3 double crochets in the last one, chain 2. So you just want to repeat that all the way around, and that is what it starts to look like. And when you get back around, you still should have 22 of these little sets of 3. So I'll meet you back around here in just 1 second. Okay, when you make it back around, I just did my last 3 double crochet and the last double crochet of the previous row, and I'm out of chain space, so I'm going to do my chain 2, and now I'm going to slip stitch into my first double crochet, just like that. And that is the row that we're going to repeat from now on until we get the bag as tall as we want it to be. So what we'll do is we'll just start by chaining 1 and working 3 double crochet right back into that same stitch. 1, 2, 3, and then 3 double crochet in this last double crochet. 1, 2, 3, and now we're at the chain space, so we'll just do chain 2 and start again. 3 double crochet into the first double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 3 double crochet into the last double crochet. 1, 2, 3, and then we're at the chain space, so we'll just chain 2, 1, 2, and start again. And we're just going to keep repeating that last row until we get the bag quite a bit taller. And I'm not sure how many rows I'm going to do, but I'll let you know here in just 1 second. Okay, I went ahead and did 12 rows of the shells, but you can do more if you'd like. And then I just went ahead and clip my yarn and tie off. Now we're going to go ahead and sew the bottom together, and I'm just going to slip stitch it together. I have the right side of my work facing me, and if you just kind of want to get it lined up to where it looks pretty equal on both sides. Okay, flip it upside down, and all we're going to do is grab a stitch on this side, and then down here at the very bottom, and then a stitch on this side, pull your yarn through, and chain 1. Okay, then I'm going to grab my next stitch on this side and my next stitch on the other side and slip stitch, and then the next stitch, and then the next stitch on the opposite side and slip stitch. So it's real easy. The next stitch, the next stitch back here on the opposite side, slip stitch it. And I'm just going to do that all the way down. Grab a stitch here, grab a stitch on the back piece, slip stitch it. And of course you don't have to do it this way. You could probably single crochet it together, or sometimes I even use just a yarn needle and a piece of yarn and just sew the bottom up. But this time I'm just going to go right down, grab the stitch on this side, and then the next stitch on the opposite side, and slip stitch. Next stitch on this side, next stitch on the opposite side, and slip stitch. And I'm going to do that all the way down. I see that you get a nice clean seam until I get over here to the other side. Okay, when you make it to the end, you just want to clip your yarn and tie that off. And then you can hide that tail if you'd like. But now the bottom's all nice and sewed up. I still got a lot of tails to hide. But anyways, now I'm going to start up here at the top, and I'm going to go around the top here. Oops. Without dropping my camera. I need a new camera stand. Mine broke. It's a 3-legged stand, and one of the legs broke off, and my husband fixed it by taping a pencil there. So instead of a leg, so it's kind of wobbly, but I'll get a new one soon. Okay, you want to start anywhere. You can start anywhere you want. I'll probably start kind of on the side there so you don't see the seam. So I'm just going to start right here in the chain 2 space that's on the side. And I'm going to start my yarn by chaining 1. Now I'm going to go work 2 single crochets through that chain 2 space. So there's 1 and 2. And now I'm going to work 1 single crochet in each of these 3 double crochets. So make sure you get this very first one here. Sometimes it hides on you. Oops. And then I'm going to work 3 single crochets across these single crochets. And then I'm at my next chain 2 space, so I'm just going to go ahead and put 2 single crochets through the space. And then 1 single crochet in the top of these double crochets. And then the chain 2 space coming up, 2 single crochets through the chain 2 space. And that's what I'm going to repeat this all the way around. 1 single crochet in every double crochet, and then 2 single crochets in every chain 2 space. Oops. And I'm going to repeat that until I get back to my starting point. Like that. Okay, when you make it back to the beginning, I'm going to work in a round now, so you're going to need a stitch marker. I'm just going to use a piece of yarn here, and I'm going to stick it right here where I ended. Now, instead of slip stitching into my first single crochet, I'm just going to continue around, and I'm going to do a row of decreases now. So what I want to do is I want to do 6 single crochets in a row and then a single crochet decrease. So I'm going to go ahead and jump to my first single crochet, and I'm going to single crochet in it. And I want to do that. I want to have 6 in a row. So that's 1, 2, 3, there's 4, 5, and 6, and now I'm going to do a single crochet decrease over the next 2 stitches. It takes 2 stitches to make a decrease. So I'm going to go into the next stitch and drop a loop, and then I'm going to go into the next stitch and drop a loop, and I'm going to yarn over and go through all 3 loops on my hook. And that's a single crochet decrease. That took 2 stitches and made it into 1. Now I'm going to work 6 single crochets in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then a single crochet decrease over the next 2 stitches. So I'm going to go in the next one and drop a loop, and go into the next one, drop a loop, yarn over and go through all 3 loops on my hook. 6 single crochets in a row. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, single crochet decrease over the next 2 stitches. So I'm going to go into the next stitch, drop a loop, go into the next one, drop a loop, yarn over, go through all 3 loops on my hook. And I'm just going to keep repeating that pattern all the way around. So 6 single crochets in a row. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then a single crochet decrease over the next 2 stitches. So into the next, and then the next, yarn over, go through all 3 loops on your hook. So 6 single crochets in a row and a single crochet decrease. Repeat that all the way back around to your stitch marker. Okay, I've made it around, and I just did my 6 single crochets in a row, and I have 2 stitches left to decrease over, and that's how you should end if you counted right. But if you didn't, don't worry about it. It's not that big of a deal. So now what I'm going to do is pull my stitch marker up, put it right back here, and now I'm going to go around and work. Just jump over here to the next single crochet, 1 single crochet in every stitch around, just like this. No decreases or anything, just 1 single crochet in every stitch around until you get back to your stitch marker. And I'm actually going to do this twice. So I'm going to go around 1 single crochet in every stitch, and when I get to my stitch marker, I'm just going to move my stitch marker up, and then I'm going to go around 1 more time with 1 single crochet in every stitch. So I'm going to be working 2 rows of 1 or 2 rounds of 1 single crochet in every stitch. Okay, once you get done with your 2 rows of single crochet and you're back at your stitch marker, go ahead and slip stitch into the next stitch here, like that, and then you can pull that stitch marker out, and then you can tie this off. I'm all knotted up, but go ahead and clip this and tie it off, and you can hide your tails, and then we'll go ahead and put some handles on it. Okay, the handles are really easy. Go ahead and leave a long tail though, so you can sew it on the bag with. And you can actually make any kind of handle you want. You can put 1 long handle, 2 short handles, 2 long handles. You can buy handles, whatever you want to do. But I'm going to put 2 short ones on mine. But it's completely up to you. It's your bag, however you want to do it. But for mine, I started with a chain of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's real easy. Now I'm just going to slip stitch into the single crochet into the second stitch from the hook, and then 1 single crochet in each stitch of the chain. So you should have a total of 5 single crochet when you get across. And then all I'm going to do is chain 1 and turn, single crochet right back into this very first stitch, and then single crochet into the next 4 stitches. So again, you'll have a total of 5 single crochet. And then I'm going to chain 1 and turn and repeat that row. Single crochet back into the very same stitch, and then single crochet in the next 4 stitches for a total of 5 single crochet. So it's rows of 5 single crochet, and I did 50 rows each for each handle. 50 rows of 5 single crochet. That's what I did. Now to sew them on, I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. You can be more specific if you want. It's completely, if you want to like calculate it or count the stitches and stuff to make it just right. I always just eyeball things. Probably not the correct way to do it, but I get by doing it that way. So I guess I'm just lazy sometimes. Okay, what I'm going to do is just kind of eyeball it, and you can kind of sew them wherever you want. But to sew them on, I'm just using the tail, and I'm going to sew them behind. I'm going about an inch, maybe an inch and a quarter from the end. And let me look. And probably be the same. Now I'm actually going to go about 2 inches from the end. Let me count that. Yeah, start about 2 inches from the end, and it'll be the same on the other side. But I'm just taking my tail and going down in a little bit and just sewing it on until it's nice and tight. And then I know it's not going to come off. I want to sew it a couple times, back and forth. And you don't have to put it 2 inches from the end. You can do it however you want. 1.5 inches, 2 inches. I mean, it's completely up to you. I hate saying how to do it because you can do it any way you want. It's your bag. Doesn't have to be just like mine. I've seen you guys post work on my Facebook page, and you guys are better at crocheting than me. A lot of you guys are. So I know you can do it your own way and make it look great. Okay, and then I'm just going to hide my tail a little bit and clip it off, and then I'm going to go to the other side and do the same. So I'm going to take my tail on the other side here, get it on my yarn needle, and I'm going to make sure my handle's not twisted up here. So I'm put it about the same length from both sides, and then it doesn't have to be exact again. Just sew it on the same way. If you're going to be using this, you might want to sew it on quite a few more times than what I'm doing. I don't use my bags. I don't sell my bags. I collect my bags. I have hundreds and hundreds of bags. Been making bags a long time. It's my favorite thing to make. So, okay. Then once you get that sewed on tight enough for you, no, the handle's not going to come off. I'll show you what I'm going to do next to it. And both handles are going to be done the same. So, okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to sew up these ends here with my yarn needle just to make it look a little rounder. Now, you don't have to. You can leave them like that if you want. Okay, if you like this rounded look of the handle, I'll show you how to do that. It's real easy. Or you can leave it like this. But all you do is take it and pinch it together, your ends, and then I got a yarn needle and yarn, and I just sew it together. Really easy, back and forth, all the way down the entire handle, and that gives an appearance of a little bit of a thicker handle. Oops. Just like that. But like I said, you do your handle any way you want. Okay, that's it. Once you get your handles done the way you like them, that's all there is to it. It was a super easy and quick bag. You're going to need to put a liner in it, which I'll do later probably. If you want to put any buttons or decorations or anything on it, you can. But that's all there is to it. I hope you enjoyed my tutorial. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to come check me out on Facebook. And you can always follow me on Twitter and Pinterest. Check me out on Etsy. I'll put the links to all that stuff below in the description box of the video. And until next time, have a good day.